If you keep saying that you're going to start again on Monday, then this episode is for you. Hi, my name's Rachel, and I run a women's body transformation program called Level Up, where we help busy women just like you to finally drop stubborn body fat and regain their confidence without restriction and without overwhelm. And in today's episode, I'm going to show you exactly how you can stop starting over every single Monday and actually get the results that you want. So you're here, and I guarantee you're here because you have been stuck in this yo-yo dieting, fad diet, quick fix cycle for God knows how long. And you're at this point where you're feeling very frustrated. And I'm not surprised because that actually used to be me, believe it or not. I've been a coach for nearly 9 years now, but of those 9 years, I probably have had a grip of my nutrition, my mindset, my flow, I guess, with everything that I do for the past 3 or 4 years. Before that, and before I was even a coach, I struggled just like you. So when I say I get it, I actually do get it. But on the flip side of that, I have also managed to overcome it, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can too. So as I said, you are stuck in this yo-yo dieting cycle right now. And I'm sure you have tried a lot of the diets that I had tried as well. Slimming clubs, shall we say? The 5-2 diet, Cambridge, God knows what else. Even just like a really restrictive plan where you're eating very minimal calories. So many women do it. And the problem with all of these things is, number one, they're restrictive. Number two, they're not sustainable. And number three, they mean that you can't actually have a life. And what is the point in living if you can't actually enjoy the life that you're living? I get it. You want to feel better about yourself, don't we all, right? And I guess we're constantly on this journey to improve ourselves, but we also need to be able to enjoy life at the same time. Because look, if you think that you're going to be happy suddenly when you lose 2 stone, think again. It doesn't work like that. Now, of course, you might feel better in yourself and there will be an element of increased happiness, but the journey itself is what brings the confidence. The journey itself is what makes you feel happier, not the end destination. So you need to be able to enjoy that journey, because if you don't enjoy the journey, you won't feel happier and you'll be going around in circles thinking, well, all I wanted was to lose 2 stone and I've lost the 2 stone, but I don't feel happier, right? Confusing, I know, but it's how it works. So we need to make sure that, number one, it is enjoyable for you. It has to be. But as I said, these fads, they're not enjoyable, they're restrictive, and you can't have a life. And that was the mistake I made. And it's also the mistake that so many of my clients used to make. Now, because you have spent years and years following these diets and trying new things, I guarantee that you're at this point now where you think nothing's going to work for you. And again, this was me, because all of these things are, shall we say, common, like they're very highly spoke about on social media, not for the right reasons, but they are spoke about. So surely those things should work. Surely those things should produce the results that you want, right? And if you can't stick to them, then that means it's like your fault. Wrong, obviously. But that's how I felt. So I'm sure that's how you felt. And I know it's so easy to get caught up in those feelings and emotions in the moment, because when you see other people doing these things and getting results, and even more so recently, the injections, when you see others, quote unquote, doing well, but you can't do it, you do start to think there's a problem with you, because if it works for someone else, why is it not working for you? But the issue with all of these things, the quick fixes, fad diets, challenges, injections, is, well, there's actually a few reasons, but the main reason is they're not tailored to you. And if something isn't tailored to you, there is only so long you can stick at it. You can have all of the willpower and motivation in the world and whatever other feelings you think you've got, but that will run out. The only way you can actually get results and stick to those results is by having a sustainable approach that forces you to change your habits and behaviours, but more importantly, your identity. Now you're probably thinking, Grace, what the hell does that mean? Like, what the hell are you saying, Rach? But look, when you want different results, you have to become the person capable of getting those results and keeping them, which means that you have to change who you are. And I know some of you won't like that, but you do have to change who you are, because the person who you are right now is the person that's got you in the position you don't want to be in. That same person will not get you to where you want to get to. Fact. So when you start to put a cover up on all of these things, i.e., a quick fix, a fad diet, a challenge, an injection, that will only take you so far. And 9 times out of 10, it will also send you backwards, because you are not changing your identity. You're not changing who you are, which is why you cannot keep the results. And it's exactly why you keep restarting every single Monday. You're so focused on getting a quick result, but also just trying to do like the next best thing, the thing that other people are doing, because you're convinced that's what works. And that doesn't work. It's actually like staggering how many people will do a quick fix and then revert back to how they were before, if not worse. There's more and more research coming out recently about the injections, and I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole about that right now, but it's actually scary, the percentage of women that are putting on the weight that they've lost after they come off of it, because they're not changing who they are. So you can try all of these things, but until you actually change who you are, you will constantly have to restart. You'll be on that track of restarting every single week, and it will get so frustrating for you, and you will continue to feel like you will never be able to get results. But the good thing is you can get results. You just need to learn how. You need to learn how to change your habits and behaviours, and how to change who you are. And that does not come from a quick fix, a fad diet, a challenge, or an injection. I've got a really good example for you of one of my clients actually who was stuck in that cycle for so long. She has tried every single diet under the sun. I'm not even joking, right? So this person is Jill, and you might have seen me talk about Jill on my social media before, and I've actually recorded a podcast with her at the start of this year, so make sure to check that out. But Jill's journey before Level Up, Jill's life before Level Up, consisted of so many diets. Like so many diets. I remember her telling me that she did a diet, I think, where she was allowed 600 calories a day. 600 calories, like that's a meal. That's not even a full meal for most people. And that's all she was allowed. And shock horror, she did it for however long, lost weight, quote unquote, and then put it all back on and more. She had food deliveries where they'd like prep her food for her, thinking that would solve everything. And she said that she didn't end up eating them, so it's just a waste of money. She's done slimming clubs. She wasn't allowed to mash a banana. Like the list goes on, right? And the only reason Jill has been able to break free from that cycle is because she has changed who she is as a person. And I know a lot of you are going to panic and go, oh, I don't want to be a different person. Well, you should want to be a different person, right? You should want to change your habits and behaviours. You should want to change how you show up for yourself. It doesn't mean you're like you're not the same person to some extent that you were before, but you're a better version of yourself. That's what this is about. Because when you're a better version of yourself, you're a better friend, a better family member, a better partner, a better mum, a better employee, whatever it is that you do. And that happened with Jill. That is why she's been able to overcome these things that she struggled with so long. And you know what? She didn't even do that at the start of her Level Up journey. And she's very open about that. And I'll always be really open about that. That's taken time. In case you didn't know, Jill's 50, which she tells everyone. And she made such a good point a little while back, which is, yes, she's been on Level Up for 2 years now, but she's also had to overcome things that have been in her life for years and years and years, right? That's not going to happen on a 12-week challenge. That's not going to happen by injecting some things into wherever you put it. That's not going to happen by you trying to do a fad diet. That happens through time, consistency, and hard work. And I know for a fact Jill will be the first to say, as will anyone, and myself included, right? There's still a way to go. There's still things that you have to learn and improve and better yourself with. That is part of the journey. But do you know what? That should be the exciting part of the journey. You shouldn't want to just put a plaster over a broken bone and get it done as quickly as possible, because you won't keep the results, but also you know better as a person. Why don't you want to strive for more? That's what you've got to be asking yourself. Why don't you want to better yourself? Why don't you want to become a happier person, a healthier person, a person that works hard in every area of her life? Not a person that looks for the quickest fix possible. And that's what so many women do. And it's actually really frustrating, because I'm definitely going to go on a tangent now, but I feel like this is the right way to take this, and this stuff needs to be said. For years, women have fought for women's rights, right? And yet there's still so many women out there that can't be bothered to do hard things. And I know that's a really blunt and, I guess, straight to the point and not explained much about what I mean. But what I'm trying to say is, we spent so long fighting to have rights, fighting for things to not be like men must do certain things and women must do other things, right? Yet not many women are actually prepared to do hard work anyway. And that was kind of part of what the argument was about. I know it's not the full thing before anyone comes at me, but the point is, like, you have to work hard. And I'm sure you work hard in other areas of your life. So why wouldn't you work hard on your health and fitness? Because, by the way, in case you didn't already know, if you do not have your health, you do not have anything. Anything at all. You don't have your family, you don't have your friends, you don't have your job, you don't have your house, you don't have your car, you don't have holidays. Your health is the most important thing in your life. I do not care what you say, you cannot argue that. So why would you not want to work hard on bettering yourself and improving your health? Whether that means losing weight, gaining strength, toning up, whatever your goal is, why would you not want to put the effort into that? Why would you constantly want to restart every single Monday? Why would you constantly want to search for the next best thing? It doesn't make sense. Looking for a quick fix, looking for a fad diet, a challenge, an injection is not healthy. Understand that. So yes, you might get some quick results. Well done. But you won't keep them. You won't have become the person capable of keeping them. And you won't have actually really improved your health. Give or take, you've lost a few pounds. It's the exact reason why you're having to restart, because you're constantly looking for the quickest way to get results. And I'm sorry to tell you, but it's not quick. It's not easy. It's hard bloody work. You need to surrender to the fact that you're going to have to put in hard work. Whenever a client comes on board with us, there are 3 things that we tell them right at the start of their journey. Number 1, it's going to be hard, right? There are going to be things that happen on the journey. There are going to be things that happen in life that are going to try and throw you off track. It happens to everyone. Number 2, what goes up must come back down, but what goes down must come back up. Your journey's not going to be plain sailing. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have great days. You're going to have hard days. That's just part of it. And number 3, you're going to think you are different, which I guarantee there are some of you listening to this right now who think you're different and who think that this does not apply to you. It 100% applies to you. You are not different. Your circumstances might be different. Your life might be different, right? But there are women out there that are busier than you, that have had more going on in their life, that have been through more traumatic things than you could ever imagine and have got results. And I know that for a fact because I work with them. So if you're telling yourself a story right now that you cannot do something because of X, Y, and Z, or that you need a quick fix because you need to drop X amount of weight by Y time, or whatever story you are telling yourself, that is just the narrative that you are choosing to live by. That is your choice. It's not the truth, it's your choice. And there's a very big difference there. You do not have to be the woman that restarts every single Monday, but you're choosing to be that woman right now. Because you're choosing the quick fixes, you're choosing the fads, you're choosing to jump on the next best trend that apparently other people are doing and it's amazing and all of this. I understand there's a time and a place for things. I understand that some people might think that there's a better time for them to start doing something, but there's no better time to start working on your health. There's no better time to start putting yourself first. The best time was the first moment you ever thought about it, which I guarantee for a lot of you was years and years and years and years ago. The second best time is right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you come back from holiday, because you can still make progress. And this is where your quick fix mindset comes in, because you're like, well, Rach, I can't because I'm going on holiday, so I'm going to have all the cakes and alcohol and everything in sight. That's not what this is about. This is about changing who you are. So, okay, you might go on an all-inclusive holiday and let your hair down a bit and enjoy yourself. Cool, that's fine. But you can also make sure you drink plenty of water and get a little bit of movement in each day. There's nothing wrong with doing that. That doesn't make you obsessed. That doesn't make you a weird person. It's actually bloody strange that people don't do that, in my opinion. When me and Don went on holiday in the summer, we went to an all-inclusive. We were in Cape Verde, so there's not really much on the island anyway. So we were at an all-inclusive, and it was actually scary seeing the amount of food people eat, the lack of movement people eat. And I know people are going to go, Rach, we're on holiday, but you can tell what someone's habits and behaviours are by how they act when they are on holiday. Now, don't get me wrong, we had dessert every single day on that holiday. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't have these things, but again, it comes down to seeing how so many people still think that health and fitness is all about quick fixes or being all in, and it's not. Health and fitness is about how you choose to show up on a daily basis for yourself. Like, how do you actually want to live your life? How do you want to feel? How do you want to be perceived? That's important. And that's not because you care about other people's opinions of you, so to speak, but that's because you want to represent a high standard for yourself. So I know I've kind of gone on 200 different tangents on this episode, but this is something I'm so passionate about because I'm so fed up of just seeing women try and take the shortcut with things. I'm so fed up of women thinking that their health isn't important and that they just need a quick fix or an injection to solve everything. It's so sad and it's so scary. And I could talk about this for hours and hours because there are so many different reasons why. There are so many different things that hold women back from starting a journey. There are so many different things that cause them to go for the quick fixes. Like, I'm not, as I said at the start, I've been there myself. When I was in that place, injections weren't a thing, but fad diets, quick fixes and challenges were. I used to be the coach that put out challenges. Like, I will openly say that. I used to be the coach that would write boring food plans for my clients because I thought that was the right thing to do. I was doing it myself, so if I was doing it, why wouldn't I get a client to do it? And also the industry has changed so much since then. And we're starting to really realise now the impact that these things have on our long-term health. And here's another tangent for you. So many women choose to pick the quick fixes and restart every Monday because they're so focused on the temporary fixes and the temporary solutions to get short-term results. Not enough people are thinking about what their life's going to look like in 10, 20, 30 years' time. Not enough people think about the choices that they make today affect whether they have an extra 10 years of life or not. Just think about that. Hold on to that thought today because that's really important. Your choices today directly impact the quality of life that you have later down the line. I know for a fact I want my quality of life to be the best it possibly can be. And I'm sure you want the same, but that comes down to the choices you make today, not the choices you make in 20 years' time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I've actually loved this episode. I feel like this episode got me going a bit, and I hope you understand what I am saying. And I know I might come across a bit passionate, shall we say, when I'm talking about it, but that's because not enough people put their foot down about this. Not enough people are willing to say injections, fads, challenges should be binned. They need to be ditched, right? They're not going to solve your problems. The only way you are going to overcome this, you're going to break free and stop restarting every Monday, is if you actually change your identity. So, with that being said, that's got to start right now. After listening to this, I want you to write down, and in fact, send me a message on Instagram at Rachel Solway Level Up and let me know exactly what you are going to do to change your identity today. That doesn't mean you need a list of 10 things, but what's the first thing you're going to do? Send me a message. I want to know. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you on the next one.